Hey there Desperados, it's Blake, and today we're going to talk a little bit about guitar pedals, and specifically we're going to go through my board and I'll tell you what's on there today, and we'll see what else we've got going. Today we do have a sponsor for our video, which is Wayland-Yutani, Building Better Worlds. We're going to start off with the first bit of my board, and that's always pretty much going to be a wah. Obviously, as you may well know, this is the Desperados Desperado. Isn't it great? It's perfect. It's custom built for me by Dex at Dex Audios. It's got some amazing features. Again, we'll do a proper video on each individual part of this, but I just want to give you a kind of a rundown today. Loads of different voices in terms of the kind of heel to toe sweep. It's got an internal trim pot. It's got a boost on it, so you can use that as a boost in and of itself, separate to the wah as well. It's got LEDs on the back here, so you can tell whether your wah engaged and if the boost's engaged. And it's got a voice switch, basically, which takes it between a red phasal and a yellow phasal as well. So this one does amazing stuff just by itself. Next up. So this is my live board here, put together by Dex from Dex Audio, kind of planned it out, did nice things of it, looks all nice and neat as well. Essentially signal goes in this side, comes out this side, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a second. First thing that you need on any pedal board is a tuner. This is the Polytune 2, this is the mini version, really good, accurate enough for me at least, really bright on stage, really quick when you're trying to tune, which is super important live. Next up, we've got the Electro Harmonics Pitchfork. I tend to use this for either a fifth above and below or an octave above and below, but it does so much more than that. Essentially, you could detune your guitar if you use the blend all the way to 100%. You can kind of detune it down to C sharp. I think it'll probably go down for standard tuning without having to mess about with chaining string tensions and necks and all those kind of things. This is the drive slot here. This changes quite often. To be fair, live, I tend to use the Electro Harmonics Green River drive, which essentially is a TOS 9 or a TS 808. Sound off in the comments, tell me which one it is. I think it's a TS 9. At the moment, I've got this, which is I'm going to say it's the coolest pedal that I've ever owned. There may be others, but this is the coolest one at the moment. This is the Box MZ2, which is the digital metalizer. It's amazing. It's one of those kind of red liner pedals with the metal zone and the heavy metal and all those kind of things. It's a really interesting circuit. It basically gives you the option of kind of doubling your guitar, which again, you know, lots of these things on this rig are to kind of make the guitar, especially live, sound bigger because we're a three-piece. This has the option to kind of double things and also to produce kind of chorus as well. So essentially two circuits in one. It's an analog distortion, and then the digital part of the digital metalizer is the doubling effect and the chorus effect. Sounds great, and again, really, this with this is kind of the sound of the Songbird Orange Michigan, and it sounds amazing. We'll talk about some honourable mentions in a little while in terms of what else goes into this slot here. Next up, we've got another Boss pedal, the Boss TR2. Again, kind of industry standard for trems, I would have said, pretty much. It does exactly what you want it to do. It's nice and simple and gets the job done. Originally, again, we'll talk a little bit about the Dodd Vibra thing, which is what I used to use for a trem. That original one died. I did manage to source another one for not the exorbitant prices that are on Reverb. But now kind of there are certain songs where I need to have a specific trem rather than the Dodd sound, which is more kind of a slightly Leslie effect as well. Next up, and probably the grungiest pedal that's on here, and that belies the fact that I probably bought it in 95, 96, and it's pretty much been on my board ever since. It's played a lot of gigs, this one. This is the Dan Echo. As you can see, just like takes up a load of foot space on your pedal board. It's huge. It sounds epic. To be fair, it does a really good job of kind of an analog distortion, but it can also kind of replicate digital distortions as well. It's a really nice circuit that's in there. I know Dex does a modified version of that as well, so I know there's one in the cabinet at the moment. So then we get over to this side here. Again, Electro Harmonics tend to appear quite a lot on my board. Great pedals, really good value for what they do. This is the Switchblade Plus. What I wanted eventually was to have some kind of stereo rig, again, thinking about trying to make things sound bigger. And so this gives me the option, essentially with the way that it's set up, that works with the Mimic. Again, the Mimic essentially is a doubling pedal. It has an algorithm in it, so it's you can make it sloppier or more accurate. So your second guitarist can either be sober as a judge, or he can have had a few drinks. So you can dial that in with the tightness one there. Essentially, if I send it entirely to this one and I can mix the wet and dry, then that's a single amp setup. If I am going to do it as a stereo, then what I'll do is I will take one out of here, out of the switchblade, and that will be a dry signal. And then on the Mimic, what I'll do is I'll take the dry signal completely off and just have the wet signal, and that'll go out to the other side. So you get a really good wide stereo effect. The Boss Digital Metalizer actually has 2 outs, so you could do that as well. I'm trying to think if there's a way that I can run like a 3 or 4 amp setup, but anyway, we'll get back to that. So yeah, this is what I tend to use live. We'll do some honourable mentions at some point in the future. If you've got any questions, if you want to shout out what you think your favourite pedal on this board is, or one that you've got that you use on a daily basis, then do let us know. If you think there's anything that maybe I should be adding to this board, again, sound off in the comments, let us know that as well. As I say, we are going to do some individual pedal reviews. We're going to do some music for each one of these ones as well. I mean, that's going to be pretty short, and the tuner one's going to be a pretty short video anyway. But again, this is what I use on a daily basis. Tell me what you think. Rate my board. Go on, I dare you, I double dare you. Rate my board. You tell me what you think's good about this. You tell me what you think's bad about this, and I will fight you for it. But anyway, thank you very much. We'll do some more videos from here on out, and take care. Bye bye.
Can I get a hell yeah? Can I get a hell yeah?